us on Season 9, Episode 9, where we watch The Flip Off, and the second wife always gets the better version. I'm Chris Lorenz.
Someone lock you in the spray tan booth? This is Brian.
You are talking to the best house flipper in the world. This is Noah Singer.
The theme of our house is modern Zen. This is Max.
Those are all quotes from this week's show, but last week we put up a poll on YouTube where we watched The Baldwins, and no one voted, Noah. No one voted.
Rough.
So
Dude.
the fact that you told me not to put in a poll on X,
Man,
we have no audience score.
I mean, the algorithm just must be racist, you know?
You could still
This
vote
is
on that
Zelensky's fault.
You can
Yeah.
still vote on the Baldwin's poll. So,
Yes.
Maybe we'll have an update in the future.
Yeah.
Unlike Twitter, which closes the poll after a week. So, it's still up.
Okay.
Noah, what show do we watch this week?
Yes. Exes Christina Hawk and Tarek El Moussa will each attempt to find, buy, renovate, and flip a house for the biggest financial gain. The competitors' skills and budget will be put to the test as they renovate the kitchen, main suite, living room, guest suite, extra bedroom, and exterior of their chosen properties. That is The Flip Off on Max.
All right. So, this is kind of a standard flip, like a standard house renovation show. They bought a house, they're renovating it, but now they're competing against another one. And apparently, these two people, so Team A and Team B, were all on the show The Flip Off. And then they got divorced.
No. So just quick,
This is called the flip off.
yeah. This is the flip off. Their claim to fame is flip or flop.
Flip or flop. That's what I said.
Yeah. Yes.
No one go back and listen to the tape. That's what I said.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So they made their fame on that show, that
Flip or flop.
and then they got divorced, and I guess that show ended. And now they're back in good terms, and they're competing against each other.
Yeah, you said it's a standard flip show. It doesn't feel that standard to me, honestly. It's got like this game show aspect, and it's got this like reality show drama that is kind of surprising.
I agree with Max. Yeah, I think they're like crossing the stream.
Crossing genres.
Well, let's put it this way. The standard flip show is in this show.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big component.
Yeah. So it's like half the show is a standard flip show. A
I'd
third,
say a third of the show. I
okay,
think
a third of the show. Oh my God.
Well,
Kill
no,
me
because
now.
there's
Kill me now, Noah.
there's a flip, there's a competition, there's a reality drama. 3 shows in one.
Do we think that this is only episode 1, or do we think that like every episode is going to be like the same level of drama? Because like I don't know if I think that that'll happen.
I think it's just episode 1.
Worth noting,
You
episode
don't get
1
divorced
is
every episode.
Yeah, no.
spoilers.
They get divorced.
Episode 1 is like double the length of all the other episodes.
Okay.
There's 8 episodes.
Yeah.
In
So
each episode, they're gonna like renovate a specific room. So this episode, they like bought the house, had extra drama, renovated a room. It was long. It was too long.
I gotta say though, for divorce, they didn't play that drama up too much. For like as big of a divorce is, like
Well,
I don't think it's over dramatic.
So Christina was telling me she was watching the show. That's my wife. So she's very familiar with these characters. She
Okay.
was like, "Oh, that person's from Flip or Flop. Oh, that person's from Selling Sunset. Oh, that person's from Real Housewives of something.
Orange
And
County.
Orange County.
Orange County. She did say Orange County, then couldn't remember. So she like knew all the drama, and she said that that person had like they had met 5 months beforehand and then got married, and Like they got married real quick and divorced real quick, it seems. So we could talk about Christina Hall. Josh is her husband at the beginning of the episode. And this was her third marriage. And then we find out halfway through the episode that they're getting divorced.
Josh is out of the show.
Yeah.
Just out. Like, clean cut. No flashbacks. No, let's play that again.
And as of 2025, she has a new boyfriend.
Ooh. Is he a construction man?
I have no idea. So, and then the other team we have is Tarek and Heather Ray El Musa. So Heather Ray is the one from Selling Sunset, and Tarek is the original from Flip or Flop.
I don't know if she's in Selling Sunset.
Are you telling me my wife lied to me?
I think so. So to be fair, I thought so too. I was like, this looks like a Selling Sunsetter. But I was like, I really didn't know. And now that I'm in the corner,
Doesn't seem to be.
does not seem to be.
I need you to change the facts. My wife is never wrong.
I mean,
Let me
I
hack
think
the mainframe.
now's a good time to mention that maybe I have face blindness. I had a lot of trouble telling these two blonde women apart. I'm getting a thumbs up from Noah.
Yes.
I mean, this person has a type.
Oh yeah, Tarek definitely has a type.
Like,
His clones of his first wife.
for sure. Like these people are very, very similar. I did not like. I could tell them apart because you said that you couldn't, but it took effort.
It took a while of getting used to, and they do not use the little chirons on the bottom that much.
Mm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of
No,
have
what
to
do you-
know, like, based on what house they're in, almost. Which
Noah, what are you talking about? Heather Ray was definitely on Selling Sunset.
Oh man,
Correct.
drama in the corner.
Wow.
So it's weird.
Fake news.
Fake news for sure. Brian's correct. Christina's correct. I was wrong. So let me call that out. But I see where I got caught. Okay, so I'm on her IMDb, right? In IMDb, I guess they have like a new setup, and they default to only showing what you're an actress in, which I was like, let me check that. But they have another category called self, and you have to opt in to selecting self to see her credit, which
that may be the best excuse you've ever provided. So on point, so understandable.
Disagree. They've had that for a long time, but they usually default to like the one you're most prolific in, and like I can't imagine she's prolific as anything.
It's the opposite. She has 11 credits for actress, 22 credits for self.
Maybe they just prioritize actress over like.
Yeah, but then as soon as Brian said it, like they show like the photos she's in above that, and I was like, let me click one of these photos because this seems like a similar person. I'm like, oh, she's in Selling Sunset. So yeah, Brian coming in for the correction.
All right, so we have these two teams. They're competing against each other. So the rules are they have 1 week, quote unquote, 1 week to find a house that they're going to flip. And then they're going to each week or weeks, they're going to renovate a room in the house and then pick a judge and get judged based on that specific room. And we'll get into the criteria of the rooms later. But the first one was kitchen, and we get to see them buy a house, renovate a kitchen, and they get judged on the kitchen in this episode.
Yeah.
I was mildly surprised every episode is only one room. I don't watch that many of these shows, but I was under the impression every episode is like a house.
That would be absolutely nuts, but might actually hold up 45 minutes.
Again, I'm just making an assumption did not watch more than one episode of this show.
No, I'm on the show page, and it shows all the show description. And it's like here's the part of the house that they're renovating.
But I also think that kind of makes sense for like a typical flip show. The flip would be per episode.
The like, yeah, a flip
Or
I
the
can see.
season, right? Or maybe the season. I'm sure it varies a bit, right? Like I feel like the Property Brothers, like that was a flip per episode, but then like Beverly watches Two Chicks and a Hammer a lot. It's not the name of the show, but like that's the name of the company, and I think
That's
like
just what they use.
it's like the whole season's like a flip, or like maybe like 3 flips, right? It's like it's not that many, right? They go into more of the minutia.
I mean, it depends. I feel like it depends on the minutia you can get into. I think for sure.
Yeah.
I'd argue that I'd want the season long flip. I want the arc, but I want to know like, okay, the plumbing details and like the manly like making a house kind of stuff, and not the how pretty of a backsplash do we buy, which I think is the majority of these shows.
It's very design focused.
Which makes sense for a flip. Like to be fair, I think like that's where you're gonna get the most bang for your buck on interesting content.
I don't know, Noah. I've been following this couple on YouTube that just is demoing a house, and it is riveting stuff. Just watching them destroy shit.
Yeah, it seems like if you want that kind of stuff, you got to go to YouTube, some sort of off-network television.
I think there's a niche.
There is, and YouTube fills it. So, like, I don't think there's a need on TV for like the kind of budget and film crew.
Interesting. Like, do you want to give them a shout out, Max? Maybe we can like,
No, I don't.
Oh, they got to pay for it.
All right. So one thing I noticed like right away is that Tarek, he's got a whole business. Like he's got like cubicles upon cubicles. He's got like a whole floor associated with his business that we see, and all they do is flip houses. And then we've got Christina. Nothing. She's flipped like one house with Josh.
What's she been up to besides probably being a full-time-ish mother?
She helps design house, like interior.
Okay. So she's not like lead flipper, but she's still in the biz.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, they went over that, right? Like that was like Tarek runs the business. She then is responsible for like making the flip look good.
Sure. I just think that you have a severe disadvantage here. The whole company, you do this all the time. You lose, that's a big thing.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I agree. He definitely is like put him more in line. But also, it doesn't seem like they really are like antagonistic with each other. They actually seem to enjoy each other's company.
I mean, they probably wouldn't sign up for this show if that were not the case.
Maybe. I mean, who knows how much money they want to get, right? They're trying to cash in.
But
Yeah,
no, it seems legit.
There's not a lot of antagonism, like you can see it between the two.
Mm-mm.
Like we've seen reality shows where they can be antagonistic.
Totally. Yeah.
Pretty healthy TV divorce.
Super
Although it does feel like the two of them are pretty competitive, like people in general. So they do feel kind of motivated. Like to me, the show feels like a notch above a regular show because these people feel like they're competitively motivated and they feel like they would actually set up some sort of competition to see if they could win instead of just being like, what if we just like have this sham competition and like, who cares who wins? We're all making money. It's like, no, they want to compete and they want to win.
I buy that argument.
Yeah, they definitely want to win, but I think they want to win more for bragging rights in their relationship. And so like they'll be 70 years old and their kid's like, yeah, remember that time I got him? Like, yeah, I got him. Got.
Yeah, I mean, they want to win, but there's money involved with they say that the loser has to pay for the family vacation, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like in general, it is really just like we're gonna film the show, but
Mhm.
I'm pretty competitively motivated, or they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Faux show. Faux show.
So we've got Tarek picks a house on Long Beach. They it was listed for 750K, and they got it for 710.
Yep.
And they are expecting to sell the house for 1.2 to 1.3 million.
And it's a
Uh,
small house. Like, that's one thing. It's like LA real estate.
Yeah.
Bananas.
yeah, it was like a 3-bed, 2-bath or something. I didn't write it down.
Like 1,600 square feet or something. Like, it's not even like the most amazing part of LA. It's like, oh, like on a flight path. You know, like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah,
This is the flight path house. I would hate to live in this house.
super brutal out there.
So then they get a renovation bid for 500K that they negotiate down to 300K somehow. We're not entirely sure what happened there.
Yep.
And then we've got the Carson house, which is what Christina got, and they got it for 605K, and it was like a hoarding house, so there was
Oh, it
shit
was
everywhere.
not. There
It
was
was
mold
nasty.
everywhere. It was not a
Disgusting.
great situation.
Really bad.
I'm kind of surprised they picked it.
So
And the
So
price was also still insane. It was like 590 or something.
yeah, batshit bananas.
no, they wanted to renovate, and it was like 500K, and they negotiated down to 200 and something because they didn't add square footage or something, which was
Right.
lot
They were
of
gonna pop it out by 5 feet. They're gonna pop. And they're
pop
like, no.
pop.
Yeah.
But they are expected to resell the house for 1 to 1.1 million.
Nuts.
Yeah. So the big thing that happens is Josh goes and does all the gets rid of all the shit in the house, which is that's like a week's worth. That's like so much work to clean out a hoarder's house. Like that's so much work.
It
They
was
said it
so
was like 4 dumpsters worth of stuff.
Mhm.
That's a lot of crap.
Is it a coincidence that this is the last time we see Josh, who then divorces his wife?
I think the last time we see him is literally her bringing up the ex to him, be like, "I really want to beat Tarek. He's got a leg up or something." Like she said something positive about Tarek and trying to compete with him, and Josh is just looking at her like, "Don't you ever fucking bring up your ex's name to me ever again," is what I got from him, and that was the last we ever saw of him.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like, even like in other conversations, that he was very testy towards her.
Wait a second, Brian, do you have a cat?
Watching one.
Wait, I saw a dog too.
Yes.
Same household?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
They're in the same house. Are they from the same household?
Yes. Yes, to both.
Okay.
Are there any other creatures that we cannot see on
No.
camera?
No.
All right. Back to the regular scheduled program. Yeah. So Josh leaves after he does all this hard work. I wonder if he gets paid. If he got paid for any of this work, or whose name's on this lease
I doubt
or
it.
deed?
Mm.
Yeah. I
HGTV.
mean, yeah, it could be. Although Christina, whatever it is, definitely has all the money because they're living in a baller ass house, and my guess is he ain't coming with that cash. It's her.
She definitely has the pedigree for it. Yeah, she's driving a Bentley. They're doing fine.
Well, Josh is a medically retired police officer from Santa Monica.
Yeah, he's not raking in that cash.
Yeah, what does medically retired mean?
It means he shot himself. No, I don't know.
I mean, that could be
It
one
was
option, but
really specific. I was like, huh.
I mean, it's some medically discharged or some other reason why he couldn't do the job anymore.
Yeah. I don't know why they're just like, yeah, he retired. Like,
I don't know if
it
you're.
seems like a nuance.
I don't know if you're allowed to work if you're like medically retired.
No, why not? You can work other jobs. It just might not
Well,
be
no,
like.
I mean you can work, but then why is the government paying you to not work? Like usually it's like you got an accident on the job and you can't work anymore, so they keep paying you.
Maybe you can do a desk job now.
Mm.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
So they get into this room. They start the challenge. So they're going to challenge in the kitchen, primary living room, the guest suite, the primary bedroom, the backyard, and a miscellaneous space are all the spaces they're going to compete in, which I don't know if all these houses have all these rooms.
It was kind of like I was surprised how much they broke down the challenge. And then within each category or room, like in the kitchen, they broke down to like craftsmanship and then quality, two different categories. And it was just like overdoing it, guys, overdoing it.
I think it's the best way they could come up with to give both rooms a little highlight, a little compliments.
Mm.
Are you talking about the criteria, Noah?
So first was like how they segmented the house into rating all these different things. Like I get how they're trying to do the challenge, but still is a bit overkill. Like I think in the number of things they're going to rate, but then within the kitchen itself, they broke down like 6 dimensions that to me were
I have
kind of
the
like
categories.
overlapping.
This is the best part of the shows that they have categories for ratings.
Oh wow!
The best part by far.
Whoa! Whoa.
So they rating based on design, added value, craftsmanship, use of space, and transformation.
But is any of that measurable to us?
I have a bone to pick. Use of space. The winners were Tarek and Heather, who have 2 uncooled wine storage.
Terrible.
Like, that's not a good use of space.
But it's compared to the other person's use of space. It's not necessarily compared to like my use of space.
Yeah.
Or if it's a good use of space.
I agree to disagree.
Yeah.
So if
I think
neither of them used use of space very well, neither of them should win.
No, just one of them was way better than the other one.
I do. Well, so what happens is at the end, when the kitchens are done, they go through and they say, Christina, you won for best overall design. And then added value, Heather, you win. And then craftsmanship, Heather won. Use of space, Heather won. And transformation, Christina won.
Good note taking. Good job.
Yeah, this was the best part. I told you I had to take the notes.
Yeah, really good.
So Heather won the kitchen, won the extra $2,000. Which, when you're talking about like trying to like earn $200,000 from this bid, from like this flip, like I mean, 2K is not nothing, but it's not like
It's a drop in the bucket.
For them, it is nothing.
Oh yeah, for them, they're like they could care less about the money. It's very clear.
Yeah, like the other guy made a comment. He got $700 T-shirts on. Like that's what he wears. Like Tarek
Is that where Lululemon? Lululemon sells $700 T-shirts, Brian.
No, they're only 100.
Tarek
the
is
XXXXL is 700.
Yeah,
Tarek's throwing down. They are definitely living that like Hollywood life.
Oh yeah.
You mean the houses they were in, or baller? Very baller houses in LA. And they're flipping houses in LA, which isn't a cheap like thing to do.
I mean, that's just cash flow, right? Like that's
Yeah, I mean you got to have the money to be able to buy the house. Like,
right. Yeah, you need to have a really good bank that will trust you. Basically.
Can we do a quick side dive into Tarek's explanation for why he and Christine got divorced? Christina.
Ooh,
Sure.
Basically, he got cancer, got hooked on Vicodin, and yeah, just wasn't having a good time.
yeah, he did say that. He
I don't
seemed
know.
open
Just
though.
added a lot of depth to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
um,
it's a rough life out there.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like he seemed to make good use of it, like to a certain degree of like he's not just like living his life flippantly. He seems to be trying to live.
Nice flippantly pun. Good job.
I'm not sure that was on purpose.
Everything
I
is
was
a big
I was giving him benefit of the doubt.
Give me benefits.
The worst part of the show, I think, was there was this scene where Christina, I think, was talking to her like manager that's like actually flipping this house. And she's like, "You can't put the pantry over here. This wall it's gonna ruin the feng shui. Why don't we put it right over here? This next nice empty spot next to the fridge, where a pantry normally would go." And
It was a better design choice. Like I don't know if it was made up drama, but like I think it was. Like she miraculously got the supplies in time.
yeah,
But
and it's just like, oh, now we need a whole other thing, Bob. Let me call. Or first she was like, let me text. I'm like, don't text about this shit. Like that's, but
yeah,
100% not believable.
yeah.
But that's what like a regular flipper house, I think, kind of does. It's like once you've explained, if you're about designing a flipped house and you describe the design and show the design, what more is there? Like, what are you doing other than like demoing, which I don't think most people, except for me, are like, it's a man show to show the demo part and like show like plumbing and all that stuff. But those aren't the people watching the show. So it's not all that interesting.
Yeah.
So what else happens in this episode?
So we had a little crossover. We got Real Housewife coming in the show.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
I have some additional crossover, some minutia, if you will.
Ooh.
This lady, Heather Dubrow, is married to Terry Dubrow of Botched fame. He's one of the doctors on Botched.
Wow. Whoa. So this is like a big, like, these people are all in.
Yeah.
Selling Sunset. We got Botched. We got Real Housewives. We got the Flips.
They're well connected.
But
They need
internet
that
corner,
HBO Max money.
internet corner question for you, Noah or Max. Was Heather married to the Botched guy before Real Housewives? Like, is she on Real Housewives because she's a housewife of?
No,
the
they were
Botched?
married in 1999.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's on Real Housewives because she's married to the Botched guy and has money.
Oh, because of it? Yeah, I mean, so she started in Real Housewives in 2012. So definitely a minute. But Botch.
I feel like Botch is older.
Botch starts in 2014.
Oh, wow. She came first. Good for her.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
And what a show this is.
A lot of
about every other show.
Yeah. So Heather Dubrow is the judge that judges and judges that Heather won Best Kitchen. Heather and Tarek won Best Kitchen. And Christina, is upset, but she won overall design and it's okay. Sad face. And then next week, I think is the primary bedroom. They were dealing with bathroom stuff, so I don't know exactly what they were doing.
Which room are you guys most excited for?
I feel like the exterior is probably the most exciting to see what they do because there's like pools involved. Both houses have a pool, and like I feel like the transformations. Like I'm more interested in the outside than I am any of the inside stuff.
Christina though, like was like, yeah, I learned from Tarek that you just got to mulch it up because that's how you get the good ROI. So it might be just kind of like mulchy mulch, you know.
Yeah.
Why are they
They're
talking
good.
about mulch outside? Just like, I don't get it.
Well, she
How
was
does
saying
that
that
raise the curb appeal?
I don't know, but I guess her at least when she was flipping with Tarek, he would do that and be like, yeah,
That's his trick.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can't just mulch up a pool. Like that pool was like green.
Yeah, no, you can't mulch the pool. Not a good idea.
I mean, if you fill it with
Oh.
mulch,
Yeah. So I didn't know that. So Christina was also on Barbie Dreamhouse Challenge. One of our
Oh, crossover.
Yeah.
Oh, nice catch. She was probably the host for all we know.
It just says she was in 3 episodes. It says
Okay.
it says she was a contestant actually. So
Weird. I thought it was just like one episode per like person.
yeah, unclear. I don't.
Maybe it's Barbie Dreamhouse like champion,
Yeah,
champion of champions.
Or maybe it was one episode, one set of people, one another set of people. Whatever. I don't remember. Another standard flip show.
yeah. I wonder. I can't find this, but like, I wonder what talent agency they're all represented from. Like, I wonder if it's really just a talent agency putting the show together, and then they're getting their roster in the show and they're packaging it for mass.
Entirely possible.
Yeah.
You don't think the flip off the flipper flop people have a big enough pool that they can just get their own show at this point?
I think they could, but imagine a talent agency adds their value, right? By taking care of like their contracts.
They are the talent.
I know, but you still want an agent to negotiate.
I mean, they have agents, yes, and they're probably the same agent house, but they're not. The agent house isn't the one setting up the show.
Unclear. I wouldn't put that off. I definitely wouldn't put that off.
Brian, what do you think?
I can't decide. I'm like like I can't.
Are you not familiar with how Hollywood works, Brian? To a point
No.
whether you know who's running the show, who's setting up a show, reality show.
Like there's got to be a pool. I think that there's enough reality shows now that like they can find anybody to find for anything. You just put an ad out.
I just think that, flip off people are just like, they take some meetings with HGTV, HBO Max. Like they're the ones pushing for this.
Yeah.
Because they're the stars.
And this is the moneymaker.
I don't think anyone comes up to them and be like, I know you guys are divorced, but what do you think about doing a show together again? Like, you don't think that would occur to them first?
I mean, every star, especially reality stars, is going to be like, I'm the center of the universe, so everything should be about me. I think you need the agent to start those conversations to be a bit more of like, hey, I'm not just so egotistical, despite that, you know what I mean? Like, and packaging it up.
But they kind of are egotistical.
For different reasons. Yeah. Right.
Like,
It's
tweet
just
at us. Tweet at us. Or comment on the YouTube what you think.
So I found Christina Hawk's new boyfriend. It's not hard to find, but his name's Christopher LaRocca. He is not a real estate guy. He's a CEO of a company called Network Connects that does mission critical network deployment in fiber data centers and video, like wires and tubes.
Okay, that's seems beneficial to society.
Yep. No, he seems like a normal dude. So maybe it'll work for Christina. Maybe number 4.
Maybe. Any other minutia we want to bring up?
Let's see. Tarek definitely has like some legit anxiety happening when they're sitting at that table and they're getting like the competition results. Like the dude is wound up. I don't know if you guys could tell that, but I don't think he was acting. He seemed legit, just like
It's sometimes hard to tell the difference. Like, it's just all like I assume it's fake until proven otherwise now.
totally fair. That threw me. Another minutia. They had like a lot of scene changes. It was like swiping from the top down. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Oh yeah, very
Right.
PowerPoints.
Yeah, it was like it gave me like vertigo. I was like, what is going on here? Because they kept doing it like 10 times in a row. It's like flop, flop.
Fwah.
I got one other shout out. There's a little black Frenchie that is really good. When Christina's really sad and crying, the Frenchie's just chilling there, like, girl, get it together. And the Frenchie crushed it. A really good dog.
All right. We've got the question everyone's waiting for. Noah, what speed did Max watch this show at?
So we all have insider information, which I guess doesn't make it insider, but he said it's not going to be 1x. I think you could 2x this show and get away with a lot of shit. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's start the bidding at 2x.
Brian?
I'm gonna go 1.5, Bob.
I'm real tempted to go 1 here, Bob.
Ooh, it's a spike out.
It's
This isn't Price is Right rules, though.
No, it's not Price is Right rules.
Okay.
It's not. That's bullshit. We're not a television show.
Great.
I mean, we kind of are now.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I'm going to go 2.4x, Bob.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. Great news. I watched it at 2 separate speeds, 2.3 and 2.5, meaning Chris is the winner. At
Ding,
an
ding,
average of
ding, ding.
2.4.
Right on.
Spot on. Good job.
All right. Who is the worst human being in this episode?
I mean, can it just be Christina?
Who do you think the problem in that marriage was? Somebody that got married and divorced 3 times, or a guy we don't know how many times he got married or divorced?
I mean, that pinpoints it exactly. But then also, like, I remember in the car, Josh was like trying to talk to her, and Christina just said one of the rudest things ever. You're trying to educate me in something I have no interest in. That's just fucked up to say.
It was pretty aggressive. Yeah, especially like I think she's a producer on the show, so assuming she has like near final cut.
Producer
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
mean
just
anything.
cut it.
Producer doesn't mean anything. Like near that. Producer can mean a lot of different things.
No, yeah, I know.
All right, so Christina, it is. Drinking rules. Brian, you got a drinking rule for us?
Drink every time you have you see a sledgehammer.
Noah?
Drink every time they talk about stone.
I think you should drink every time they like bring up a detail of a room. Just like we're using the backsplash, that's the same as the countertop, or like we're gonna put the pantry over here. Like just some sort of detail going on. Max?
Take a drink every time they say the phrase 100,000s.
That's pretty good. Or like, yeah. Like this house is worth 200,000, 300,000.
Yeah.
We're trying to make 200,000. I think
A
you
lot of
got to
stuff in the
include like
100,000s.
you also have to include million, I think, there too. Like we're trying to sell this house for $1 million. Like that'll come up. Would this show be better as a TikTok or Quibi? And I would say unequivocally yes, the show would be better as either one.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, are you just talking about like shortening it, or like are you actually like trying to make it like into something else? Like, if you're just trying to
Yeah.
shorten it, like we've had this argument before too.
Mhm.
I think that I'd actually be interested in watching somebody do this competition on TikTok in real time. Like, hey, we're trying to, we're going to view houses today, and they show the houses, and like it's 60 seconds of like what they did that day, or like we're putting the kitchen in. Like, that's more interesting to me than watching it all in a lump sum at an hour and a half. Will it be shorter? Probably not. If you're like giving me daily updates that are 60-second a piece, that'll add up. Like, and like a Quibi, I think just it would be shorter and hence like better because they'll tighten it up a bit. And I think that would be more enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
Like, ideally, I think like a 20-minute version of this, like set up the competition, 20 minutes kitchen, 20 minutes whatever. Like, that would be a better show to me.
That could be fun. I'd like that. Yeah.
Like, but that would like cut the show in half essentially, because you take this hour and a half episode and you cut it down to 40 minutes.
It's a lot more expensive content, right? Because like even the kitchen, it took them 44 days. They made a big deal showing that. So like it's a costly production relatively to other reality shows that like you're recording a season in a week. Right?
Well, we can have then TikTok. Let's go to TikTok.
Yeah, I think TikTok you get more juice, right? Yeah.
Would the show be better if everyone was naked?
Sure.
Easily.
No, there's gonna be tons of bleeding.
Tons of
Dude, Tarek's current wife is a former playmate. Like she was playmate of the year or month or some shit, whatever. Like I think objectively,
So you're saying is those pictures already exist.
seemingly, and like, but like, just going through like all the corner research, I'm like, I think that's a like reasonable resume bullet point that if it's someone on the show we watch was a playmate, there's a default answer to your question. It's just objective. Like I don't think there's a subjectivity to that.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. Brian says no. Noah says yes. Tell us what you
No,
think.
no. To be clear, this is not my opinion. I'm just saying this is like
this is a fact.
This is just fact. I am abstaining my opinion. This is like just
everyone must want to see the Playboy Playmate and everyone around them naked.
I think they've decided that content is better if this person is naked. Like I'm just saying, that's what I mean. This is like I'm not making an opinion here.
Yeah, it's such a misogynist viewpoint. Like everyone must want to see this woman naked. Like
I didn't decide it. Playboy decided. That's all I'm saying, right? Like if they decided that already, who are we to argue?
All right, let's get into ratings. We have a top, bottom, and middle third. And we put them in stack rank buckets. We try to stack rank them compared to other reality shows. And I'm not sure why I went top, bottom, middle, but I did it and get over it. Brian, what do you got for me?
If we're just basing it on this episode, this was far too long. And I would say it's probably like top to bottom. But I keep looking at like the other episodes, and it's like, okay, this is a reasonable length of time. It's probably gonna be more focused on the flipping part of it. Yeah, if it's just this episode, which is all we have objectively, then yeah, it's bottom.
Noah, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing we talked about at first, you're getting a 3-banger here, right? You get the flip, you get the competition, you get reality drama. I think there is gold there for a certain audience that probably enjoys primarily the reality drama and the flip content, and the competition just kind of adds to the drama. Uh, so I think it's done pretty well for that. Not something that I personally really enjoy too much, but like I think it's done well for it. So for that, I think this has to be a solid middle. Like it delivers on what it promises, and it gets you what you want.
Max, what do you got for me?
Controversial take. At 2.4x, the show is kind of good. Top third, bottom of the top.
Wow. But wait, so that is contingent.
I did not watch the episode twice at two different speeds, so I can't tell you what your experience was. I can't tell you how I would like it if I watched it at 1x.
So I'll start out by saying Christina watched the show with me, and she thought this was a top third show. Not top of the top, but top third. I think I'm going to agree with Noah. It's not my cup of tea. It is much better than other like Flipper, House Hunter, Flipper, I don't know, House Hunter v Flipper show we've watched. So I'll put it in the middle because I think that provides value, like entertainment for an hour and a half. Like I was bored, but I wasn't like shoot me now, which is usually what I think of when I try to think of Flipper or House Hunter shows. So put it in the middle. That's what I'm going to do. Tell us what you thought about this show on X. We're going to have a poll over there next week. We're going to have a poll on YouTube. Tell us what you thought on YouTube. Tell us what you thought about the comments on YouTube or tweet at us. I really need to set up our Blue Sky account. We don't have one right now. So, but you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on whoputthison@gmail.com. Just, rate us on iTunes. Let us know. Tell us what's going on. And then at the end of the show, we like to give out shout outs, some other stuff we've been watching, playing, doing, whatever you want to talk about. Brian, any shout outs this week?
Unfortunately, no shout outs this week.
Noah, any shout outs this week?
I got repeat customers in my shout outs. Acquired podcast. I've mentioned that at least twice on this pod, not more. They dropped their Rolex episode in the middle of that. Pretty entertaining. It's kind of interesting because like to get really into like the products and brand and companies they talk about, and I still don't really get the whole watch thing. Like I get it's like engineering impressive, and it is, but like I still don't want to spend a lot of money on a watch. I just don't get it. That, and then we finally started Severance season 2. So I think we're
nice
into the season. Yeah, season 2. I mean, obviously not going to talk depth, but like enjoyable, but also like I really think I needed to rewatch season 1. Like I get the story arc, but like I feel like there's so many details, and you're just like, I'm probably only getting half of this.
I'm sure you can do a full rewatch between now and when season 3 comes out.
Yeah. I will give a pre-shout out to the Righteous Gemstones. I saw the final season came out. Or I don't know if it's a full drop. I think it's a weekly drop, but very exciting.
Week by week, episode 1, I watched it. I would wait because I wasn't a huge fan of episode 1.
Ooh.
Episode 1 is a prequel where Bradley Cooper plays the first Royal Gemstone.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But I'm going to warn you that like the Royal Gemstones is a comedy. It's like funny most of the time.
Righteous.
This episode of television, not funny. It's very kind of serious Civil War like thing. I don't know. I was not my cup of tea.
Like, is it like Fred Armisen funny, like not really funny, but like you have to think about it funny, or just legit a drama?
It's like, to me, like a legit drama, but I don't know. I don't understand dark comedies, so somebody might call it a dark comedy. I don't know.
I see.
I didn't think anything about it was funny. So, but it's just one episode, so they're going to be. I assume they'll be back to normal next week.
Cool.
Hopefully,
All right.
I need
will
this.
wait.
I need the sister back in my life, like stat.
She's very good. Yeah. I hope she gets her own spinoff. That'd be amazing.
That would be the best, I think.
Yeah.
Although, take side character to main character is kind of tough sometimes.
Well, so I was gonna say I think the ideal for me would be baby Billy, whatever his
Baby
name is.
Billy, yeah.
Like somehow do him and her somehow in this universe, right? Like
Baby Billy's pretty good. That's good. Max, any shout outs this week?
Nothing off the top of my head.
I'll give out a shout out and a pre-shout out to Wheel of Time. It comes back probably by the time you're listening to this, because it comes back on Thursday. Who knows when I'm going to get this thing out there. And then my real shout out is Pokemon Go. I'm back in playing it. I'm enjoying it. I played it, I don't know, like 8 years ago. So I'm back catching them Pokés. It's fun. I'm not sure how much I recommend getting stuck into a gacha mobile game, but it is, I enjoy it. So it's, it is what it is.
what's gotcha about it?
Like, you want to collect stuff, but they kind of choose what's out there for you to collect, right? Like, you only have certain Pokemon out there, but you want this specific one. Well, like,
Noah, I have a clarifying question for you. The term gotcha, can you spell it for me?
GOTCHA.
Chris, take it away.
it's GACHA.
It has nothing to do with the term gotcha. It's from
It's not,
Japanese.
yeah, it's not gotcha. It's a Japanese term for like the original, like a gotcha is like a collectible card game where you buy like a pack, and that pack of cards has whatever in it, and if you get a good card, you gotcha. Like you got like, and like when you roll a dice and that gets you something, like in a mobile game, that's like considered a gotcha game.
Understood. So like the randomization's pure, where the randomization seems fixed.
Well, it's just like you're trying to collect things or get stuff, or like make a pool. Like you're trying to pull a good thing. So it's like playing lottery. I would also consider kind of gotcha, but most people wouldn't. But like pulling, the right Pokemon, and the right, I don't know what the most famous gotcha game would be. Doesn't really matter, but you get the point.
Anything that's kind of like collect them all. Like imagine a Happy Meal where you can get one of the 5 Power Rangers. You obviously want to catch them all.
Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out, Max. I definitely thought like, Chris, you're not a fan of the games where like you pay for time or whatever. And so like, I thought you meaning like, oh, those games that get you, like.
Yeah, it's like the gotcha mechanics are very similar to like paying for time. It's like, but not quite.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us what you thought about this show on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and Twitter, and emails, questions, and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next time.